Welcome back, Shalligators, girls and gays. Today we're talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce kind of moving in together. Yes, moving trucks, a singular moving truck, this is important, was seen at his new $6 million mansion in Kansas City. And at first I thought, okay, well, it's probably his stuff. No, he's been in there a while. He's already completely moved in. And like, he's a dude, bro. You know what I mean? Like, how much stuff do they have? It's like, I've got my like protein shaker and, well, my porn's on my phone. I got my PlayStation. Like, what do guys have? They're the flattest pillow in the world. They're navy blue sheets that their mom bought them freshman year of college. Is that what they move? I don't even know. Because I don't live with a man. And that's the point. That's what we're going to talk about today. Moving in with the guy. When is too soon? Is it a smart thing to do? Should you do it before you get married? Should you do it when you're still dating? Should you do it after you get engaged? What are the rules and how to make it work to create a better relationship, not a monster blowout fight about like dryer sheets or something, peanut butter, air fresheners in the hallway. I don't know. It can go wrong in a lot of ways, but I'm going to tell you how to make it go right. But before I do, you guys, XO Style Box is here. If you've been having some issues with fashion lately and shopping, first of all, the Black Friday sales, I think were complete baloney. I found nothing I liked because I'm just so tired of only liking things that are super expensive. I'm not going to go on Revolve and spend $300 per garment and wear it once and never wear it again once I photographed it and posted it. You know, like that's kind of how we are. And then I don't want to buy this fast fashion H&M crap because it's so bad for the environment. It doesn't fit well. What is the deal? So I came up with a solution myself. XO Style Box is my new clothing subscription rental service. You can get looks like this, Revolve level clothes. I mean, most of the garments are between $200 and $400 each, and you can rent them. You ready for this? For free. Your first month is completely free. It's going to take you through the holidays. Give it a shot. What have you got to lose? You can swap an unlimited amount of times in a month. Unlimited. There is no other rental company that does that. Usually you have to send everything back all at once before you get your next shipment. No, with XO Style Box, you can send one thing back. You can keep something for months if you want to. Do whatever. It's great for coats and cute winter looks. And best of all, if you like the things, you can buy them at a deep discount. They're like 85% off. So really, what have you got to lose? Get stuff, try it, see if you like it, experiment with new looks. This little baby is from XO Style Box. And by the way, every week on my Instagram, Shallon XO, I'm doing a try on haul. I'm telling you my stats, what fits on me, what's true to size, what I'm loving, what I'm not really all that jazzed about. So you can get some little feedback straight from me. Check it out. Link down below. First month is free. Swap as many times as you want. Okay. Taylor and Travis. This is like real, right? Okay. So Taylor is on a 2-month break from her Eras tour. I honestly think it's ideal that she is only going to be there a few months, and we're operating under the assumption that this is true, so let's just go with it. Because it's kind of like a probation. It's like, let's give it a shot. It's long enough that you can really see someone's biorhythms and like their habits when they move in, but short enough that like, you're just not gazing into the abyss of holy fucking shit, this is the rest of my life with this person. Do we think that this is moving too fast with Taylor and Travis? I mean, moving in together is like pretty gnarly. Here, let's do the point and the counterpoint. On one hand, they have not been dating that long and they haven't been in the same place consistently, which is difficult because we all know after having been in relationships, it's the day-to-day that makes you or breaks you. You know, is there a division of labor in the house? What is this person like after a bad day? You know, am I meeting their friends? Am I integrated into their life? It's all fun and games when it's all fun and games. When it's that vacation romance, that because it's long distance and when you meet up and see each other, it's like sex and fun and talking. You don't have hard conversations. You're not around each other enough to get annoyed. You don't actually see how the other person lives. Not actually. Yeah, they can clean up their house for a visit or two, but like, again, day to day, who is this person? Are we actually compatible? Because if you're crafting a real long-term relationship, a marriage, it's not all fun, sexy, hot dates. And it certainly isn't all sex. It is that minutia. What does that look like? Do Taylor and Travis have that data? No. So counterpoint, I guess it's good that they're getting it. I mean, if they have the opportunity to spend this huge cluster of time together, why not? Why still be long distance if they can both be anywhere? I mean, he's got to keep playing football, right? I don't know how football works. But if she can be where he is, why not do that? And really kind of take it for a test run. Run it up the flagpole. I don't know. See how it goes. But listen, Taylor has the luxury of money. Obviously he does too, where if it doesn't work, she's out of there, right? She makes a phone call, her shit is packed, and she is on the next private jet out of that man's house. For the rest of us, when you move in with someone and you decide it's not working, guess what it's like? A divorce. It is like a divorce. I know because I've done it. I've had an actual divorce, and I also lived with someone before I met my husband, not for very long, a few months. And when we broke up, I was like, this is like I'm getting divorced. And then when I actually did, I was like, yeah, no, I was right. There was slightly less difficulty in the logistical realm, but emotionally coming home and seeing the absence of someone, the gap in your closet where their things used to be. It's pretty brutal. I say this not to dissuade you from moving in with someone, but to realize that it is not something to undertake lightly. And when I moved in with both of these boys, one of whom I married, we did so at first for financial reasons or logistical reasons, right? My first boyfriend, he moved in with me because he was like between apartments because he was it was like not like he was homeless and he couldn't afford, but it was like he was we were kind of deciding if we were going to move to Dallas. It was a whole thing. And I was like, well, just move in with me. Don't sign a whole other lease because by the time we decide, my lease will be up. So it just like made sense. It was one of those things, it made sense. And living in New York City, which we were at the time, most people move in together for it makes sense kind of reasons. I moved in with my husband, who he would become my husband. We were just dating. We'd been together like 6 months because my apartment got sold, so I had to move. You see this in Sex and the City, right? And that's why Carrie moved in with Aiden. Didn't she do that? I think so. If we had all, in these scenarios, both of my boyfriends and me, been independently wealthy, I would have never moved in when I did. Never. If everyone could have afforded a month-to-month furnished place or to get out of a lease whenever they want, or they bought a place so it's not going to get sold out from under them, none of these dynamics would have happened. And I swear to God, my relationship with my husband, we might have worked. Because when I realized that maybe we had moved a little too fast, and we even hadn't. We'd been together like for 3 years by the time we got married. When I realized like I need some space, I need to think about this, I couldn't afford to get my own place. I couldn't afford to do that. I couldn't afford like $6,000 for first and last months. I couldn't. If I had that money, I would have moved out and been like, let's just slow our roll, okay? Let's keep dating. Let's see how we vibe. Maybe this is just where we're meant to be. We're meant to live apart. Or maybe not. Maybe I miss you. But that wasn't the reality. And it's not the reality for most people to go in and out and in and out. So when you move in with someone, you kind of need to be mostly sure. Here's a statistic for you. Ready for this? When two people move in together, they have an 85% chance of getting married. 85%. At exactly a year and a half of cohabitation, after exactly a year and a half, if they aren't engaged or like shopping for the ring, taking like very concrete steps, their chances of getting married drops down to 11%. Now listen, 11% is not nothing. I know two people who've gotten married and they've lived together. One lived together for 4 years. The other one has lived together for 11. I was like, oh, you're getting married. I mean, 11% is someone, but I'm not a betting woman. You know, I don't usually consider myself the outlier. I consider myself the inlier. It is much safer to think of yourself as the rule, not the exception to the rule, but the rule. It's safer. Why is this? Why would it drop down so extremely at a year and a half? Well, think about it. In a year and a half, you know, consciously or unconsciously, whether you want to talk about it at parties, you know. You've seen someone's biorhythms. You know their day-to-day habits. You've gone through all the holidays, right? You've gone through a complete holiday cycle and then some. You've met the family, or maybe you haven't. You've integrated with the friends, or perhaps not. You've seen if you guys just generally mesh, because again, as we said, a marriage, a long-term relationship It is that meshing. Are you both morning people? Or if not, have you learned to work that out? Have you found a middle ground? Is one person really messy and expecting the clean one to always pick up after them? That creates a lot of resentment. You can see what someone's going to be like as a husband and as a parent, which is very, very, that's crucial. And that's doomed a lot of relationships that I've had. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this what parenthood would be like with you? You are the baby. No, you are the baby. Only you're not a baby. You're 34 years old. Sometimes you're 22. But so, okay. When we talk about living together as data gathering, because listen, we are data-driven bitches, aren't we? Oh yeah, I love a good spreadsheet. Love a bell curve. When we look at it from that lens, how well do we mesh together? How well do our biorhythms fit? Makes sense to move in before there's a ring on a finger and a white wedding and a contract with the government, right? Now look, I know that I said moving out is like a divorce. You know what's more like a divorce? A divorce. It's more divorcey when it's an actual divorce. It sucks to move out. It really sucks. Financially, it sucks. Logistically, it's long. You know, it sucks. It fucking sucks. But it is measurably worse to be in a bad marriage. Infinitely worse. So it's the lesser of the evils. But here's a counterpoint. Why play house? I mean, I hate to use it as an example, as a cliche. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? I think, again, we know people who have moved in and they've been living together for 4 or 5 years, whatever. And it's like, oh, we're going to get married. He's just taking his time. Girl, I don't know. Maybe you're an 11%er, maybe not. And if I was a betting person, I would say you're probably not, sweetheart. And so I think that there's a lot to be said for the old-fashioned mindset of, no, I'm not going to move in with someone unless I'm engaged or unless we're married even. I know people who didn't move in together until after they were married. And we talked it out. I was like, okay, the data thing though, the data thing is very important. And her point of view was, you know what? Whatever that data yields, so he's messy and I'm clean, or vice versa, or we argue about the peanut butter, we're going to figure it out. We've committed to that with our marriage vows. We love each other. We have similar goals. We recreate the same way. They had the pillars of compatibility sorted out, right? They had the pillars of compatibility from her point of view. She's like, everything else is just garnish on the plate. We'll figure it out. If we're both messy, or if I don't want to clean up after him, guess the fuck what? We're getting a maid. We're getting our house cleaned once a week. Again, though, they had money. So this is something that, I mean, they could afford to sort of blunt the edges of what might rub up against them with money. But you don't have to. I think that I'm torn. On some sense, on some levels, I'm like, no, you should absolutely move in together, see how it runs, like make this a test run in some way. But then it's like, but 85% of people get married when they move in together. So that's clearly on people's mind. And if that's on your mind, like we're moving in, I know I'm going to marry him. Are you viewing this as a test run? You know what I mean? Or are you like, I'm already all in. I'm all in with this man. I know we're going to get married. If that is the case, then does this cow milk free situation click in? It's like, he knows he's got you, girl. Why would he put a ring on your finger? Why would he rock the boat? This works out great for him. He's got someone splitting the rent, wouldn't owe you any alimony. I mean, listen, nobody wants to look at their partner through that lens. Nobody wants to think that that's the situation. And hopefully it isn't. But it's the situation for some people. Could one of those people be you? I don't know. I think the way to avoid this, have some conversations. Have some conversations. I failed to do this. And my relationships subsequently failed. And I think a huge reason is because we didn't have talks about finance. We didn't have talks about division of labor. We didn't have a lot of talks. And I know it's ironic because I never shut up and all I do now is talk about relationships. The key word there is now, because I've been through this and I've learned these things the hard way and I'm trying to spare you. Susie Orman, she's a financial guru. She has a really great strategy for blending finances when two people move in together. Yours, mine, ours. Okay? He has a bank account. You have a bank account. You have a bank account, bitch. Listen to me. You keep your bank account. The only freedom is financial freedom. You need fuck you money. So that if you catch him cheating, you catch him doing meth, you catch him saying he wants to be a Twitch streamer, you're like, thank you so much, Jason. I am actually out of here. That you have the money to be like, fuck, bye. You need your own bank account. If you don't have financial freedom, you have no freedom at all in this world. None. And then there's the joint bank account. Okay, well, that sounds reasonable, but like, how do we break these things down? You know, like how do we commingle? Like, we make different amounts. Okay, so she has a solution for that. Let's say, round numbers, you both make combined total $100,000 a year. You make 40, he makes 60,000 because men get paid more. I am not about sharing things 50-50. That's not the kind of feminist I am. I don't want to be treated the same. I want to be treated better. Okay. But let's just say you're a bit more equal than I am. You make 40, he makes 60. You pay 40% of a bill, he pays 60% of it. You pay 40% of the rent, he pays 60%. Do you see what I mean? That makes it just more fair. And you need to, again, be saving your money. Question, should you buy a house with someone you're not married to? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Research the law and see what your protection is. If you break up, who gets the house? Can you take him to court? Would a lawyer help? Or is it like, I don't know, is the law going to look at you and be like, fucking figure it out, dude? I don't know. You need to talk to lawyers before you do these things, because when you are commingling your money, you are entangling your life's blood. Money is the foundation of who you are. Shallon, no, it's not. Grow up. Yes, it is. What do you do all day? Do you go to work? Oh, yeah. Why do you go to work? It's for the money, right? But I love my job. Cool. Would you still go if they didn't pay you? That's what I thought. I wouldn't do anything if people didn't pay me. It matters. It's also your future. How would you feel if you broke up with someone and it financially fucking bankrupted you, and that meant you can't have a baby for a while, or you have to move back in with your mom, and that means it's really hard to date. So even if you wanted to meet someone new, logistically, how is that going to work? Or you can't afford to move to the big city where you could get a better paying job because, your poor relationship decisions financially wiped you out. Talk to a lawyer, an estate lawyer. Even just one meeting, they're going to give you some advice. Or talk to a financial planner. Again, one meeting, they're going to be like, hey, do not do this. And you know what? They might give you totally different advice. Like, don't get married, buy a house, but don't get legally bound to someone, because you might be bound to their debt. Even if someone declares bankruptcy, did you know that student loan debt is the only thing that is not wiped out? I wouldn't marry someone who had any debt of any kind. None. Maybe a car payment, a mortgage, fine. I don't have a mortgage though. I don't have any mortgages. So I'm not taking on someone else's debt unless I take on half of that asset. Oh, sure, we can contribute to your mortgage. Guess who owns half that fucking house now? Me, baby. I'm not taking on medical debt, student loans. That's on you. Those are your choices. And I understand that these are icky and awkward conversations to have, but I'm sorry, that is a barometer of whether or not you're mature enough to be in a serious relationship and thinking about marriage. You know who wasn't? Me. I wasn't mature enough to have those conversations. It's awkward. I had no business being a wife. None. Oh, I was plenty old. I was not a child. But emotionally, I was. And listen, I could voice some of the blame on my ex-husband or my ex-boyfriend. It's like they didn't make me have these conversations. Make me? Wow, how fun for them that they have to be my emotional parole officer and drag me kicking and screaming into adulthood. If you can't have these conversations, do not move in with someone. I'm not saying that you're like wrong and pathetic. You're just not there. You're not there. I remember recently, two of my friends were talking. One wanted to get pregnant with her boyfriend, and the other one had 2 kids. And the one who wanted to get pregnant, she's like, if we do, I don't even want to let Eric into like the birthing suite. I don't want him to see anything that comes out. And my friend who's a mom looked her dead in the eye. She's like, you are too immature to have children. okay? He created that baby. If he can't watch it be born, or you can't be vulnerable enough to have him see that, good fucking luck raising a kid, because it is all vulnerability and it is all ugly things sometimes. And she's like, oh. I'm like, I see both points. I don't know that I'd want, but I'm not mature enough to have a child. So there you go. Proof positive, like exhibit A over here. Seriously though, but I think that that's a good barometer. If you can't have hard conversations, girl, keep it at dating. Keep it at dating. And you know what? I'm also going to make a counterpoint against moving in together. They will be in your house all the time. You again. Oh, you're still here. I don't share a bathroom. I won't date someone who only has one bathroom in their home. It is a hardship for me to travel with a guy. Very few hotel rooms have 2 bathrooms. I believe a separate bathroom is the key to happiness. We've talked about this on the Shallon lately. I am disgusted at how gross relationships have gotten. People peeing and other things with the door open. I don't even let a guy watch me brush my teeth. It's like, why? Why do I need to? Does that bring us closer together that are like bleh, gagging and retching? Honey, I gag when I need to and when I'm brushing my teeth. You know what I'm saying? I will gag when it's contributing positively to the situation. That's not a toothbrushing situation, okay? I don't like it. I think it's gross. I've gotten off topic. I think it's okay to have some space. I think it's okay to miss somebody, you know? And even if you spend 6 nights a week at somebody's house, it is not the same as having your own. It's not. Because if you get in that fight, or if you just need a night to be bloated and watch your British murder shows and put your LED mask on and file your feet with a cheese grater, you have your space to do that. Or your friend is upset and she wants to come over. Honey, is it okay if Jenna comes over? You don't have to ask these things. I really am a big believer in individual space, and I am wrestling with this right now because I think I want to get married again. This is a huge shift for me. And again, if you're in the Shallon, like you have watched me like mature finally over the last year, like take some really quantum leaps in terms of maturity, do a lot of work on myself, and be in the place it's like, I want to integrate my life. But you know what the sticking point is? Oh, they'd be in my house. We'd be in the same place. All the time? Dude, I know. I wish we could build a better marriage. I wish we could build a better concept of marriage, because I think a lot of women who are married or shacked up are like, I would really like my own space. Maybe not all the time, but damn, just a place for myself. Like, I wish we could all keep, like in every group of friends, we would have like a communal apartment, and that we could just spend like a night or 2 a week there, you know, just to get like a chick timeshare. And it pisses me off that men have their man cave. What is it you need to get away from? Your family? Your own children? Where's a woman's woman cave? A she shed? That's not a thing. Her place to hide is, I don't know, the kitchen, the fucking laundry room, doing labor for the family. But you have to go down into an entire finished basement to watch the Eagles? Are you kidding me with this? You've been at work all day and you come home and you have to still get away? Bro, just get divorced. Just get divorced. Just get divorced. You know why most men don't get divorced, I think? And they will say, then I won't see my kids. No, buddy, you'll see your kids way more. Right now, you're maybe doing 10% of the parenting. If you split custody, guess what? It goes from 10 to 50%. Right. If guys are being honest, it's not that I will have access to my family less, it's that I will have the burden far more. I will have to make the dentist appointments. I will have to do school pickup and drop off. I'll have to pack the lunches. Yeah. Anyway, I am once again off topic. My point is, studies show this, that when a man and woman move in together, a man's quality of life goes up. He's got a beautiful little maid in his house. Yeah, someone making the dentist appointments for him. Someone making sure there's always Q-tips, the ones he likes, not the generic ones. No. A woman's quality of life, in terms of energy expenditure and household labor, goes down. Whose socks are on the ground? Because I don't put my socks on the ground. Those wet towels on the floor? No, I got it. I got it, Chad. No, I got it. She's shopping for two. She's spending more. Sometimes, not always, sometimes I wouldn't be spending more actually. Think about this. Think about this. And listen, I know this all sounds very gloomy. One of the happiest times of my life is when I moved in with my husband. And we were, just dating. But the nesting, we moved in, I think in like September. So the weather was just starting to turn. And I like decorated for all the holidays and we had people over and it was amazing. It was precious and wonderful. It really was. And I think if we had had more honest conversations before we moved in, maybe we could have gone the distance. I don't know. It's hard to know, but it really was fun. It really was. Until it wasn't. Until life settles in and you haven't talked about finances and you haven't talked about where you want to live when you grow up and when we get married. And it's a whole other thing. What has been your experience with cohabitation? What have you found works? What have you found doesn't work? What tough conversations actually go easier than you think? What ones go harder? I honestly think that money would be an easier conversation than you think it will. I think division of labor is something that is difficult because no one wants to admit I am super messy and I'm super fucking lazy and I expect you to do everything, right? Money is linear. It is what it is. You can assign a story to it, but it's like, well, this is what I make and this is what my bills are and this is what my debt is. Everything's just very like loosey-goosey about labor. It's like, hey, are you a clean person? How many people are like, I am quite frankly disgusting. I never cleaned my toilet once. Nobody says that. Oh, I'm busy. I could be cleaner. See how they live. Pop by their house a random time and be like, oh, okay. Because the only way that their biorhythms are going to change when you move in together is if you are the one picking up their slack. They will not automatically get tidier, maybe for a little bit, but people return to their baseline. That is a statistical truth. So they might be able to keep it together for like a few weeks and then it's like, this is how I live. Is that going to be okay with you? It depends on how big your house is. Like, you're going to get into reflexive biting if you're in a space that's too small for the both of you. Is it better to wait until your finances are more in order, until you can have a better place? Is it better to move into one person's house because it's already set up? Is it better to jettison both places and get a place of your own from scratch right from the start? I think that that's nice to do. I really do. What's worth compromising over? Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your experiences. I want to hear all about it. How long did you wait to move in? Did some of you guys move in ASAP? And it's like, yeah, it's worked out because we had this attitude of we're figuring it out. We're just figuring it out. Or did you wait a really long time to cohabitate and it still fell apart? What do you think did that? Could money have solved those problems? Could nothing have solved them? I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think about Taylor and Travis? I think it's going to be easy for them to live together over the holidays because it's fun and it's festive and it's cozy. But I wonder, is she going to be kind of climbing the wall? She's off tour and he's suddenly going to be on and popping, playing football all over the country. Is she going to travel with him? Is that going to cramp his style? I don't know. I think we're going to see a whole bunch. All right, Shalligators, like I said, go check out XO Style Box. You can pick up this little number and head over to my Instagram to see this week's try-on hauls and click my XO Style Box story highlight to get all the dirt. And remember, first month is free, unlimited swaps. Go nuts, my little fashionistas. Mwah!